Me, I'm live and purple today. She likes the purple. Anyway, two things. There's a story I promised to tell in a chat room I often visit, a forum, and I promised to tell the story like a week and a half ago, but there was still a lot of council activity going on, and thank God it's over. I mean, there's still some residual stuff going on and everything, but the big stuff that was keeping me exhausted and sleeping like constantly is apparently feels like it's over. And I have this. Now, this is a book where I will sometimes remember to write down a roller coaster session remote viewing to you, or a council meeting or whatever, and it's got very few entries in it, because I'm lazy, I guess. But I was on the phone with the Choshu, whom you may or may not remember, and she was saying how she was remembering stuff from the local late activity. So we decided to send her up there and take a look. And our information is never very detailed because of the scout I send. I mean, I am fully aware that the scout I send is more interested in movie auditions and the weather and everything to be able to focus on the important stuff. So, but I do try to go. I just never can remember. So this is a roller coaster view from the 26th of this month, January 2017. And as I said before, everything was really active. Now, this does happen on occasion. You know, sometimes it happens once every so many years. Sometimes it happens once a year. Sometimes it happens on the solstice. Sometimes it's big. Sometimes it's little. And the reason why I sent Choshu, she was remembering the crowd or whatever. And got the book open and just let me back up. Got the book open. There was a lot of heated arguments when we went to look, and what we did is we bounced back in time, which roller coasting is good for that, to look at the night before when it was the most active that we could remember. And there was a lot of heated arguments, and we didn't really want to spend a lot of time looking because everyone else that tied to the council has been reporting a lot of stuff. And I'm just going to look at their reports and see if it matches. But apparently people have really split into groups, which, you know, as above, so below. The division's pretty bad. They're all pointing at each other and calling each other traitor. Yeah, you know, traitor for having a different point of view. Clever, right? Yeah. They're complaining about the plan. The plan apparently has a glitch in the system. Now, I've been saying this for a while, that the plan had been held back and that it was delayed and something was going wrong. And the biggest part was people couldn't set their egos aside and couldn't get a move on, or they get so wrapped up in the religion that's being brought in that's just really acting like a derailment that they have forgotten the whole mission. Or you get the lazy pieces of crap that I'm on vacation, I was promised a vacation, I don't want to do nothing, and then they actually, you know, and then they get upset when someone else is put in their place, and they, yeah. Anyway, so we've got this very human, should have been anticipated problem. It probably was, but it seems like it's worse than it ever was. Like, you know, I don't know why. Maybe it's the fact that there are nothing but selfies, and we've got not even just one generation, but two generations of selfish assholes that have been raised that don't know what consequences are. But this seems to be affecting everything. So she went up to, you know, where I sit, and we had a good chat there. And the words are, no one can get their shit together. Half of them want to blow up the world. Half want to start over. Others want to give peace a chance and just want to keep going. Two groups are saying fuck it and just throwing up their hands. Yeah. Showing some perseverance there, people. But by the end of the meeting, apparently some progress had been made. Choshu could not see what it was. Something about Britain. There's going to be like a blanket getting lifted, or something is going to get unveiled or exposed. There's something going to be pulled away to show us something. Being as, you know, it's hidden, I don't know what it is. If I knew what it was, it wouldn't be hidden, now would it? So that was the agreement. that was agreed upon finally after the end of this big thing. And what was really hilarious about this meeting was that an inauguration was held, and the inauguration was just an inauguration to put the usual person in place because that's really just, ceremony. And, and it was really just a trick to get people to come because it's really difficult to get everybody to show up, which that trick's been used before. So, yeah, that is my fishbowl report. Not a very good one, so I don't hardly ever give them. But, maybe some people can glean something out of that. So, let me tell you my story now. The story that I had promised. Now, this happened when the husband was in Afghanistan during probably the first 6 months. And I was still really active and upset. And yeah, being left behind had made me upset, but really it was more of how I was getting pushed around and treated, And I was out of body, standing beside a young soldier who was on like a hospital bed, but he was in a hallway. And I had a sense, and I know now that I was getting it from him, I had a sense that I was in a big hospital. And he had so much faith in the doctors. The doctors were going to save his life. That he was just laying there waiting to get wheeled into the emergency room to be seen. And he was so full of faith. You could feel it coming from him. And, I'm standing with him. I don't know why I was standing with him, to give him comfort, to see him off, whatever. But I was just standing there and being a presence, standing by his side. And we stood there a while, and I cannot now, because it's been too many years, remember if we had discussed stuff, if I was saying anything to him. I can't remember. But at one point, a couple of nurses came and said, we're going to wheel you into the back room now. And you could just feel it. I'm going to get helped, finally. And they started wheeling him away. And I'm following, because that's what you do when you're standing by someone's side like that in that form. And they went into these emergency doors, and there was this bright light past the emergency doors. And they were your standard movie doors with the round holes and the double doors, And I was stopped. I actually got blocked at the door. No one told me to stop. I literally could not go further. And I was really, really, really surprised that I could not go further. And then I realized, oh, we're not in a hospital. He was dying. And he had so much faith in the medical system that could not or would not or whatever, because sometimes they don't help him, that his death sequence that you go through as a comfort and into the light was that he was being wheeled into the emergency room to be patched up. And then the FOB was blacked out immediately, which they would do when someone was injured or died. But it's been too many years, and I don't remember who passed. I don't think we knew him. I just remember when my husband was finally allowed to call me, which he tried to do every day, that he told me, and I was like, oh, that was that soldier. Oh my gosh, because I was there. This is a really weird little tidbit. I have never experienced anything like that since. But guys, it is a really clear sense on death for some people. Now, one thing I've noticed that everyone's death tends to be a little unique. When my grandfather passed away, I don't know what it was like for him, but I do know he followed me all the way home, several states across the U.S. from the funeral, and pestered me for a while. And people go on and on about how death is like this and death is like that for some. And but when my grandfather, who was pestering me to contact members of the family and try to heal the rift that's in my family, and I wouldn't have nothing of it because I wasn't up to being treated like crap again. When he gave in, he came to me the night he left, and he said, well, and these are his words, they have decided I'm going to go over yonder. I don't know why they won't put me with your grandmother, or why I can't be with your grandmother. The reason why he was expressing this is because he had become a very religious man through the later half of his life, and he believed that when you were married, you would go into the thing together, and I don't know where that belief comes from, but I've heard it expressed from other Christians, that apparently when you get married, your names are put together in some sort of vault or something, and you're tied forever and ever. And he couldn't understand why they whoever they were would not put him with my grandmother. Now, I was being really polite when he was expressing this confusion. First off, that wasn't like my grandfather, but when you're out of body like that, there's some restraints that fall away. And one of them is the fact that he was actually talking to me like I was the person instead of the lowly, idiotic female that he saw me as. And so I'm really polite, and I said, I don't know, Grandpa. I don't know why that is. Who knows? But what I was thinking was how much my grandmother had hated him because of the way he treated him. And I don't know where Over Yonder is. Now, he was Appalachian, and in that, when you say over there, over yonder, okay, there's body language and stuff to help you pick up how far away and just where Over Yonder is. Okay, so I knew that it was Over Yonder was far, 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 far away. Which is something else that goes against what a lot of people say about death. Is that my grandfather was actually ordered and placed somewhere. Who knows why? And we could make a lot of assumptions. Oh, he was with the Fishbowl. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, he was being controlled by the reptilians. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, it was God. Maybe, maybe not. The fact is, he said they, and they is a plural term for more than one entity, but we don't know who they are. We don't know where Over Yonder was. We don't know why. We don't know if it was a reincarnation, if he was being put in limbo. We don't know. We just know. And the only actual clues we have for my grandfather deciding it was time to go was that. But yet, on the other hand, this young soldier who passed away who had the hospital is going to rescue me sequence and actually went into the light. Now, did my grandfather go into the light and then he came back? Who knows? He no more. I can't ask him. There's something I think people should ask, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. The ghost people that talk to the ghosts. That's just something to ask. Hey, did you go into a light and then came back? Or did you just walk out of your body and there was a light and you ignored it? What was it like for you? What did you choose to do? These are questions I have never heard anybody who's researching the afterlife ask the spirits that are actually willing to talk. But anyway, that's my story, and this is getting too long, so I'm going to move on. But floofy, purple, and I'm going to go wash dishes or something stupid and mundane now. Bye.